what's this thing that you've been talking about, this video?
Freaks, right. It was a thing that was banned for like 50 years. I think it's been taken off again, but I don't know why, if it's just been deleted, right? It's a quest. If anyone out there has got a copy of Freaks on DVD or VHS, can Karl borrow it, please? I mean, I almost want to set up a camera to see him watching it. It's absolutely real. They use people in the circus of the time. I think it's the 20s or 30s of the Depression. And there's people, there's Coneheads, there's a bearded lady, all genuine. There's a bloke they call the Human Slug, who's got no arms and no legs, Karl. And he's just there, and he rolls a cigarette and lights it with his mouth.
I think I've seen his brother, who isn't called the Human Slug. Is called the Pillow.
Right. How does he make a living?
He,
Does anyone want to meet Karl for money? Do you know what I mean? Like that,
the annoying thing was, right, there was a picture of him. I was going to put it on
I think I've seen his brother.
on our website, we put things up like this, right? If you go to ricky.gervais at xfm.co.uk /
What? You've put things like that on my website? It's nothing to do with me. I want people to know that that website is not kept or looked at by me. So, what have you put on there?
There's a fella on there who's known as the Pillow. And he's, you see, I get a bit worried with things like this, because we're not sort of having a go or anything, it's just things that
Fascinate you.
Yeah. And, yeah, it's a guy, it might be the same sort of thing. What's your one?
I bet you used to stare at people with goiters, didn't you, when you were little? In Tesco's?
Well, just go to xfm.co.uk / Ricky, it is.
What's the worst thing you've ever seen on, like, a human face?
You know what it is, and I don't want to talk about it.
I can't remember. Have you told me?
Yeah.
What is it?
But go,
it's not
go
the
to,
elephant lady.
Go to the, yeah.
Is it the elephant lady? You talked about that, I know.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it again. Go to the website and see the Human Pillow.
Why is he a human pillow?
That's what annoyed me. I thought he was more of a draft excluder.
Oh, that breaks all kinds of rules.
Now, things are flying here at XFM. People have called in. There is a video of Freaks on the way. Karl's going to see that within the week. That's exciting. That's exciting for me. Do you know what I mean? About our education of Karl. We started off trying to teach him about science and history, and now we just find that he likes pictures of hairy Chinese kids and
Who
women. Who doesn't? No, true. You've got a theory about pictures of freaks, haven't you?
You see, you always bring things up that I don't want to talk about, because I'm really worried that people, if you've just tuned in for the first time, it's the first time you hear it, and we're talking about hairy Chinese kids.
Yeah.
Talking about the human worm.
Karl, listen. People don't think that you're taking the piss out of those people. They lump you in with them. Do you know what I mean? They think that you're a freak of nature. So you can say anything you want. Do you know what I mean? Because it's honest, it's from the heart, it's genuine. So, don't worry about that.
Yeah, but Suzanne was saying last night that I've got a heart of stone, or whatever it is.
Why?
Because I wasn't crying at Comic Relief. And all I always used to say to her, get out Elephant Man, let me watch that for 30 minutes, I'll be crying my heart out.
Why? Why do you care about that but not...
Because it's... That is more real, isn't it, right? Think of John Merrick.
Sorry. What, the film starring John Hurt is more real than footage of starving people in Africa?
No, but what I'm saying is, think about... See, this is why I didn't want to bring it up, because people are gonna just say...
Well, you're allowed to cry at what you like. People can't have you for not crying at someone and crying at someone else.
Imagine that, like, if you've seen the film, you know, his head's all, you know, messed up and that.
Yeah.
He's getting picked on all the time.
Yeah. By Michael Elphick, I remember.
Yeah.
It's just really, really sad. Whereas, you know, we're trying to help out.
But you give him a bun
people.
and he forgets it.
Do you know what I mean, though?
He never forgets, Rick.
Oh dear.
Anyway.
Oh God.
We're giving away stuff again.
Yeah.
Time
Tell
for
me
the
a theory about freaks who have their picture taken.
No, I'd leave it.
No, can I tell you?
We'll do it next week then.
Can I tell you what this is?
Go on quickly, what is it?
Right, when he sees a little picture, like in these books he's got, he carries round those things, right? And there's like a fella with a little head with some like able-bodied people. He goes, the only reason he must know the only reason they got to take that picture, right, was so they could show their mate, say, look at me, the little fella with a little head. That's his theory.
Yeah. For every picture of a freak, they're being
Steve, let me describe the picture to you. This little fella with a little head.
Right.
Playing on the piano.
I've seen it.
All his family stood around and mates and that. When have you ever seen a picture of someone playing the piano and everybody wants to be in on it? Doesn't happen.
Maybe it was one of those kind of Christmas cards they sent out to everyone.
It wasn't. You could see one of them was like in a rush to go away. He was probably planned to go out, and he was like, "But they were taking a picture." It's I'll be in it then before I go out, and it was all. He's out of order.
Yeah.
If you say, do you know the one?
I do know the one you mean. Yeah.
There you go.
Well, right now, we got people to send in a little thing for you last week, didn't we? The film Freaks. You got a few sent in. You watched it, did you?
Yeah.
Now, I should just point out that the film Freaks, for those that don't know, was a movie that was released, I think, it was originally made in about 1932, something like that, and then it was delayed, it was banned for many years, because it did, in actual fact, feature, for want of a better phrase, real-life freaks.
Yeah.
Bearded ladies being one of the more kind of familiar ones.
There's a guy without arms and legs.
There's all sorts, and it was actually it's quite a tender film, isn't it? And actually portrays them as a kind of dysfunctional family. It's not exploitative in that sense. But what do you make of it, Karl?
Well, you were watching it for the freaks, weren't you?
Yeah. I mean, I wish it does take a while to get onto it.
What do you mean?
Well, straight away I was disappointed, right? Because at the start, like, you put it in, it's like, oh, brilliant. Here we go, you know, I said to Suzanne, we'll watch this, we'll have a good night.
Yeah. Have a romantic night.
That's it, her birthday. Yeah. You've got your gloves, now we're gonna watch some freaks.
So, put it on, and it starts off, and it's like, you know, the following film, you think, oh, it's like following films rated 15, which means, you know, might contain scenes of violence, bad language and sex. Yeah. Mention nothing about pinheads.
Right.
Right. So I thought they missed a trick there.
Yeah.
To be honest. Right. So I thought, well, let's carry on watching it.
And what exactly is a pinhead?
Oh, if you've seen it, you'd know.
Okay.
Right. So not the best thing in it either. So imagine that.
Okay, so you're watching it.
So sat there, I think, right, something comes on, and the little fella's on there. The little fella we were talking about, the Pillow Man.
Right. Is it the best thing in it?
Now, what's the Pillow Man again?
Is a fella who years ago, he's got no arms and legs.
Right. He's just a torso.
Just rolls. Yeah. And there's a scene where you see him sort of rolling a cigarette up, just using his mouth, and it's like he lights it and stuff. And that's weird. And then what else is on it?
Smoking stunts your growth.
And then there's a little fella on it who is fed up because he looks 5, but he's actually 34.
Right.
Right. But there's a woman who is 42 and looked 8. So they both had the opposite thing. They were both really fed up. And I kind of thought that shows that, you know, you always want what someone else has got.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So in a way, there's a story there in that.
No, you described the same there.
No, it was like...
No, they both, you just said, they both looked young, but they are actually both older.
No. This was like a little man.
Yeah. Who was 35.
Who was 35.
And looked 8.
Yeah.
And so did she.
No, well, the other way round then.
What? So she was an 8-year-old that looked 35?
Yeah. So, oh, maybe not then.
Anyway.
No.
But that wasn't that weird. I kind of thought it's a slow start and that.
Yeah.
And then,
It's not a difficult film to follow.
No.
Yeah, but I wasn't really listening to what it's all about, just looking at what they had, and they had like a fella who's running about on just...
They had like he was shopping.
You know, they had a fella with no legs and he's running about on his hands, and sort of got about on a skateboard, talking to someone about it. They said that's how E.T. was done. There's actually a little fella in E.T.
Right.
Who's just half of, sort of half a body.
Is that true?
I've no idea. I've never heard that before.
Why haven't we heard that before?
I've never heard that before.
I don't think he would fit in E.T. Because he's got no, because where's the head? He's got no neck, E.T. It's a skinny little thing. There's no human neck couldn't fit in that skinny little neck.
Well,
you sure it wasn't Kenny Baker up to his old tricks?
What are you talking about, Karl? There's a fella with no legs in E.T.
In E.T. they had two fellas, right? I think they had a little, a midget fella.
Right.
Who did it, and then I think he was off sick, and they were like, oh, you know, what else are we gonna do?
So they saw a guy on a skateboard going by.
And said, do you fancy some work?
Right.
And he's done it. I think someone told me. I mean, it might be wrong.
Exactly.
Might be wrong.
It might be, mightn't it? I mean, you've never been wrong before, so I don't know why you'd be wrong there. So what's the worst thing in it?
Now, it's intriguing to me because here's a film called Freaks, featuring real-life freaks, and you're sort of a bit nonplussed by it.
Just because it's built up. If you call a video Freaks, you've got to make sure that there's some good stuff on there.
Yeah.
What were you disappointed about? Was it that?
Because there was a few things on it, right? There was a woman who said she was half man, half woman, and it's like, well, you're not, are you? It was just like she had some makeup on. I thought, well, that's rubbish. And then there was a woman who could eat using her feet. That isn't that freaky. Do you know what I mean? If she's not hungry, she looks normal. And that's when I was thinking, I mean, I'm not being right, Steve. You know I'm not being funny.
Oh, here we go.
No, but I'm just saying, if that woman wasn't eating and you were sat next to her in that film,
yeah,
I'd probably be sort of drawn to you more than her. I'm not. I know you hate me saying it, but there's no point sort of pretending. Do you know what I mean?
Oi, Muttley, what are you sniggering about?
The fact that well, you mean there were things in it that were less... What are you saying?
I'm just saying...
Play a record. Seriously, I'll slap you. I'm gonna slap you live on air.
Yeah, but you always get...
Right, I'm slapping you live on air, I swear to God.
Alright, play a song then.
It's playing a song.
I'll play the song.
Keep the favourite.
No.
Keep the favourite.